What Steve just had like in his house or just in his shop or something?
Yeah, they were trying to sell it. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the Brain Gravy Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Heckman. Here in studio, we have Matt Reichman. How's it going, Matt?
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm pretty good.
And then to his right, a guest in studio tonight, we have Nate Jacobs. How's it going, Nate?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you in here. Nate is a musician, a local musician from Wellsville. You have two bands, right? Jack Diesel and the Brown Thrashers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe what Brown Thrashers is something you're doing right now, just at like the local bars and all that, right?
Yeah. Every time you say that name, it cracks me up.
I know.
Yeah, it sounds like an episode of Diarrhea.
Where did that name come from? I mean,
No, actually, my good friend Adam Stack, he plays guitar in it too, and he was like, we were looking for a name, and we always come up with awful names.
right.
Anyway, but he was like, yeah, let's call it the Brown Thrashers, and I was like, is this a football team? And he's like, no, it's actually a bird. So we looked it up, and it is a bird on Google.
Nice.
We Googled it.
The Brown Thrashers. Who would have thought that would have been?
I would not expect that to be a bird.
Like, you know, in this political climate, I feel like the word Brown Thrashers is like, whoa. I mean, I know you're from Wellsville, but
Right. We like to thrash now. Yes, we have that, and it's kind of like my brother plays drums. Obviously, he follows me everywhere I go, but he's my little
he's a little tight.
yeah, little tyke. But yeah, so he plays drums, which is like a 3-piece band.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, so we've been jamming out until Diesel comes back. Diesel's kind of like my
right.
main.
Well, I heard, just like for the first time yesterday, I heard one of your promos for Jack Diesel, and I was super impressed because it sounded like I wasn't expecting it to sound bad. It's just as soon as I heard it, I realized that the recording was pro level. You know what I mean? And then the music was awesome too. It's
Cool.
definitely something I'd listen to.
Oh, thanks, man.
How did that come about?
It's definitely dad rock. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, we.
Dad.
No, we. I had taken a lot of courses online to do like audio recording and mixing and things like that. But so I wanted to like start writing music when I was like 21, but I just kept putting it off and putting it off. Finally, I was like, man, I gotta get some songs written. So I wrote that song, and then I was like, I started mixing it, and it's like when you work on something long enough on your own, you get into that tunnel vision where you think the song has to sound like that.
Right.
And it could be awful, and it kind of was because I'm still a noob at mixing. But like, I finally got to the point where I was like, man, I'm not. This song's never gonna come out. Like, I'm never even gonna release it because I'm not happy with it. So I finally called up a dude down south, and it didn't sound awful, but this guy's a lot better. And I was like,
Right.
hey, would you be interested in mixing my song? And I sent it to him, and he's like, yeah, this could be way better. Then he mixed it, and it came out awesome. I was like, thanks, man.
Wow.
But yeah, he's great. He's out of South Carolina. Gonna give a shout out to my boy Jay Hannon.
I like when it comes to like, because I've recorded a lot of my own music too, and I put it out there for fun. It's not something that like I just do it for like, you know, I write a song. The last one I put a little video that I cut from that movie Moonrise Kingdom. I cut it up and then just for a visual, because I think people are more likely to listen to it if there's a little visual like along with it versus just
Should have went with the lyric video.
the lyric video.
Never underestimate the lyric video.
What's that? Oh, like showing the lyrics as it's going.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just cool to get like views on stuff that you do creatively and all that, and that's always nice. But I mean, that quality versus what you do, I feel like with Jack Diesel, that's something that you actually want to make something out of. I mean, at least, I mean, like if you're not, you should, because
Right.
it was excellent music.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Is that the genre that you're going for?
Yeah, the stuff. Actually, our album's gonna probably come out. Well, our EP's. I want it to come out like around March or so. But yeah, there's gonna be like 5 or 6 songs other than that one,
Right.
and they're kind of like in that vein, but they're kind of a little bit heavier. Like some of it's a little more. It's kind of new metalish, I guess. Kind of in the veins of like Breaking Benjamin and
I got you.
bands like that. But
That-
yeah,
That's pretty sweet. What kind of music do you play with the Brown Thrashers?
we do pretty much anything. We do Red Hot Chili Peppers. Well, we could, but we do we do some Stevie Wonder covers. We do Sublime. We're just all over the place. Like we do 70s to
Well-rounded.
Yeah.
yeah. Try to be
That's
to.
cool. When you do Stevie Wonder, do you do like the?
Yeah, I'm over there. I got my dark glasses on. I'm like, oh. No. Well, maybe.
I was watching an old stand-up of Eddie Murphy, and it was like one of his first stand-up specials, and like he is crazy homophobic in that stand. Like that was when it was cool. Like he just says, but he was talking about how a lot of people, like he used to do this Stevie Wonder impression and like got a lot of shit for it.
Huh,
like
no
back
way.
in the 80s, yeah. And it's interesting just to think about like that's like the equivalent now of like it's just how people get upset about stuff now. That's like the 80s equivalent. Like people were dogging on Eddie Murphy for doing Stevie Wonder stuff.
That'd be like Will Ferrell picking on like John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
John C. Reilly. That's the guy. That's the other guy that played in Step Brothers, right?
Yep. Curly haired guy.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. So you're gonna do like 5 or 6 songs for that EP.
Yeah. The EP. I'm pretty sure we're gonna call it Now or Never. It's so cliche, but I'm gonna use it anyway.
What are you gonna do for the cover art?
Actually, my girlfriend's an artist. So
no shit.
I'm gonna have her. Actually, I was just talking to her about it last night. I'm gonna have her like come up with some idea, and then we'll just go from there. She's not much into the digital art of things, but
Right.
she does a lot of drawing and painting. So I'm gonna work with her on that. Then maybe transfer it to the digital format. But yeah,
That's pretty cool.
We're gonna go from there. Try to come up with something a little different that doesn't look the same as every other hard rock album in Kmart.
Right. I always think of like in South Park. Remember when they were doing the Christian rock, and then they did the stereotypical album cover. It's only after I seen that episode before I realized that a lot of album covers are like that. But
It's always sunlight and trees.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So I was talking to you about this before the podcast, but obviously the big story this week for Wellsville is the swastika.
It has gone global.
Yeah, can you believe
MSN News.
MSN
I
News?
saw it was on the front page at the top of Huffington Post.
No way.
I watched
Huffington Post.
on Sunday. It was on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. They just showed it for a brief second. It has made it global. It's worldwide now.
Well, I knew the ratings might go up, but I'm gonna just admit that I did it.
We got it here. We got it.
You
Folks,
heard it here first.
folks, we nabbed him.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
that's something. That's terrible.
It is
That's
awful.
not what you want to be known for.
I know.
Globally.
Yeah, Wellsville's famous for like the worst thing possible, basically. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering who it was. I mean, I'm sure everybody's wondering who it was, but we've talked about it a little bit, like who it could have been. Like most likely, it was probably like when you're like 18 in high school, or maybe right out of high school, and you just want to do
drawing
stupid shit.
swastikas on things.
Well, yeah, when you go through your swastika phase, but when you're just like you just don't realize
Yeah,
the
you
shit
don't
that's
realize what's like. They did not think that was going to be everywhere.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Saturday morning. I walked upstairs and I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "Dude, it was on Facebook like 5 hours ago."
Yeah, dude. And but I'm wondering do you there's 3 possibilities, I guess. There's just like the random person that maybe doesn't really support Trump, but knew that would get a little bit of local attention.
Yeah, and then one of the 2 parties.
Or else
Who
one
was-
of the 2 parties, yeah.
Either happy or upset. It's either celebratory
Yep.
or a.
Like if it were liberals, it's the perfect thing to do, basically, because like you're upset that Trump won. So what do? You
Don't give him any ideas, Ryan.
you go out and you do the worst possible thing that you could, and then it gets obviously negative attention. Right? This is Trump's America. Are you happy, you fucking Trump supporers? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And all that.
look what happened that we did.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's maybe like the principal from that, like it was at the school, right? So maybe
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
the principal just wanted to get that dugout painted, and he's like, I know that if I spray paint a swastika on this dugout, the community will come together and paint this dugout. Finally, I've been trying to get people to do it for
That's
years.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now tomorrow they're all gonna have their own swastika.
Yeah, like
The rest of them in town.
like people are just gonna be
It'd
doing it
like
on
a
the side of their
bumper
houses.
sticker.
They were like, Heckman started it.
Yeah, it's that Heckman guy. This goddamn Brain Gravy podcast. Shut them down. Trump's America now, goddammit.
Banish media.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the Dave Chappelle episode of
Yeah.
SNL?
SNL, yeah, that was
was good.
excellent.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was so awesome seeing Dave Chappelle again too. Like I forgot. Like I love Dave Chappelle, but I forgot how much I miss him from the Chappelle Show.
Oh yeah,
because that's been like a decade, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, he kind of went in hiding, didn't he, for a bit?
Yeah, he went to
pretty
Africa
much.
or something.
After all the
Didn't he
Rick-
say like something crazy like that? He just escaped.
The Rick James jokes.
I think what it was is he just got like too popular, and like you know how some people get really popular and then it just like they snap, and I guess I understand why you have that much attention on you, and some people just fucking like love it, like Kim Kardashian, and then some people can't take it, like Dave Chappelle, and they have to go do a pilgrimage to Africa and just do whatever gets their minds straight. I guess
I'll totally trade those two. I'll trade Kardashian for Chappelle back.
I would get don't even get me started on how much I want Dave Chappelle back, dude. I like after seeing that the skit there with where they made fun of The Walking Dead. God, dude, that's a perfect.
Oh yeah, with all his old characters.
Oh, dude, it brought me back straight back to 2003, I guess, when Chappelle Show was on, and just like, oh, why don't you do another fucking season, please? Like, people should start a White House petition. You know
like
how
you can just do like an episode like every month, man. They don't have to be weekly, man. Like whatever it takes for you to make these again.
Just one episode. Like even like I obviously want more, but even just one. I guess that was probably the SNL was our decade-long episode of
Make SNL great again.
Also, Chappelle got jacked. Let's not like avoid that one. He got big.
He is looking good.
He is much bigger than when he left.
Yeah. Do you think it's muscular big? I wasn't looking at his physique.
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
he's jacked now. He's more jacked than he was.
I'll call no homo on all three of us right now, but he does look way better than. Well, he looked better than when he didn't have baked.
I have no problem calling him
that's
Jack.
pretty much what I'm comparing him to. Is
Yeah.
him and Half Baked.
Well, him and Half Baked was like a broomstick, pretty much. He's thin as shit in Half Baked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's old school Dave Chappelle right there. But yeah, dude, from that skit with Walking Dead, one of my favorite parts was when it went to Clayton Bigsby. And Clayton Bigsby's like, well, this hat says otherwise. It's Trump's America now. And then it pans over to the white guy, and the white guy's like, you're goddamn right. No, oh God, dude, that one skit was my favorite for sure. But all of them, dude, seeing Chris Rock again on Saturday Night Live, fuck, dude. It was great. I loved it. What'd you guys think about his monologue?
I usually hate SNL monologues just because they're a little painful.
Right.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the whole part about the balloon basket, the balloon basket quote or whatever. That was amazing.
Bye, Nancy or Janice or whatever the white name was.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Darn it.
I don't know. It seemed like he was going because he had that one part of the monologue where he said sorry, Lorne, like Lorne.
Yeah.
What's Lorne?
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels, yeah. Like, so I think like there was a part in there that he said, and then but probably before that, Lorne Michaels is like, hey, can you not do this one part?
Yeah.
But he said it anyways, and it was a very heartfelt monologue. I think it's interesting because from a stand-up point of view, I looked at that and I'm just like, this seems like someone who hasn't rehearsed the material, but in reality, what it was someone that was just. Probably had some really important things that he wanted to say and wasn't sure how the crowd was going to take it, but said it anyways and kind of felt it out. It was a very, very interesting to see Dave Chappelle like that, But he said some great things. I think he made some great points, and I don't know. What did you guys think about the beginning with who's the SNL character that plays
Kate McKinnon?
Kate McKinnon. Mm-hmm. She's fucking awesome, by the way. She's my
favorite. I love Kate McKinnon on SNL.
Yeah, she was great on Ghostbusters too. Yeah, she was one of the favorites. I think she killed it on Ghostbusters, but she's definitely been one of my favorite SNL character now. But what did you guys think about the intro that she did with the piano playing Hallelujah?
Oh, yeah. I only caught a little bit of that on YouTube, but because of Leonard Cohen, right?
Yep.
Oh, is that what it is?
He just passed away.
It was a tribute to Leonard Cohen.
Oh, I did
Totally
not get that.
one.
Yeah, that went right over my head.
That was actually amazing for that, and because of the whole Hillary thing.
Yeah.
To do it as her, that was brilliant.
I see now it makes so much more sense. At first, I'm like, okay, I guess Hillary lost the election. Kate McKinnon's classic SNL character was Hillary Clinton, and now this is like her send off to the character, maybe. But yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
All right.
Yep.
We got to the bottom of that one.
But yeah, I mean, the rest of the skits on there were great. It was great seeing Chris Rock again. I don't know, just it's funny because South Park has this whole thing. Do you watch South Park, Nate?
A little bit. I watch a lot more Family Guy than I do South Park.
Okay, yeah, I like Family Guy.
I like.
You're
I like
one
them
of
both,
those
though.
people.
Yeah.
I see how it is. South Park is doing this thing this season with member berries, which is where basically making fun of how there's like the redo of all these movies, the redo of like MacGyver's coming out, and all this other stuff, and like how people are just ignoring reality to live in the past basically through fucking rehash shit, which is, I guess it's true a little bit. I admit I do it, but I don't know. It's nice seeing those SNL characters from a very like nostalgic point of view for me, I guess, because I mean, shit, dude. Do you remember being in my house, like when we were teenagers, sitting in my room with all our friends and watching best of, like Will Ferrell, best of Chris Rock?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
The gold miner or whatever, the old prospector. I remember that one
The
specifically.
old-timey gold miner. God, dude, we watched that. I think we like watched that one over and over. Did you ever see any of the best of like Will Ferrell?
Yep.
God, those were on Netflix a couple years ago, and then they took them off. But I loved watching.
Yeah, actually,
those.
I went through and watched all the SNLs when they were on there.
All
of them, literally all of them.
I've never seen the old school ones. What were those like?
It started off excellent, and then in the 80s they were terrible.
Really?
Just skip the whole 80s portion, and you'll probably be okay.
Was the acting just bad, or
Everything about it was just bad. The writing, the
No
acting,
shit.
it's painful to watch now.
Probably
Dang.
just like coke fueled, like
a lot of Motley Crue and Def Leppard?
Yeah. I don't know. So it's funny because like when you watch those older episodes, like I forget when I was in high school, the older episodes would come on I think it was like VH1 or something like that. But they'd always have when it got to the part with the bands, I never recognized any of the bands, and it's like they had 90s bands that were definitely known, but there's a lot of 90s music in those old episodes that I no idea like who this band was. Like they're just like a one-hit wonder in the 90s that was on SNL. You know what I mean? The creme de la creme of live broadcasting, pretty much. What did you guys think of Tribe Called Quest, by the way?
That was great.
You liked it?
Again, yeah.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
All right.
I did not like it. I mean, it was okay, but I don't know. There was so much hype.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Tribe Called Quest?
I actually missed it.
You missed all of that episode, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It was almost like, darn, I can't even say it because I forgot what I was going to say just now. Darn it. I'm all behind.
That's all right. Why did you like that, though? I don't understand. Because I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like...
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll say it was okay. It was just nice seeing him again.
Nice seeing him again,
Sans the fife.
It's like Stargate. I'm just missing all the episodes.
Give me a little turn there.
Give me him a little bass, man.
Am I better?
Get him a little bass in there.
Yeah, get me. Oh yeah, turn me sideways.
Yeah, this thing's not centered, so you're talking to the side of it, kind of. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, just
Get that whole moustache in there.
It's the mustache. The mustache is impeding the words.
Nate, have you seen Matt since he's grown this glorious mustache?
No, actually, I haven't.
It's been growing for about 2 years now.
Dang, I like it. It's got the curls too with that.
Thank you.
You get compliments on it all the time, right?
I do actually. It's kind of weird. It's not something I expected to hear.
A mustache like that is the only kind you can buy in like stores.
Pretty
It's
much.
true.
Not
yeah.
everybody can grow a stash like that.
I can't even grow facial hair. I'm
Yeah,
30 years
this
old.
was kind of my consolation prize. Like I couldn't grow a beard, so I was like, I'll try the mustache. I'm like, you just got to keep going, and it kind of just keeps growing. So all right.
And some people can only pull off the stash. Like I couldn't pull off just a stash. I'd look like Hitler or someone random.
Right.
Oh yeah. Also,
I
I've
look
been
weird.
called Hitler and other things. Hitler had that fat stash.
Yeah, he took it from Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's right.
Hitler had the OG Charlie Chaplin pretty much, but no one remembers.
Ruined it. Ruined
Yeah,
the chapter.
he ruined it.
Because he was like the comedian, wasn't he?
Charlie Chaplin, yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually a bit really big time. Actually, I seen a video by Charlie Chaplin today on YouTube because people like to take old timey videos that talk about fucking government oversight and
take them out of context. And
yeah, I mean
stuff. I mean, sometimes it's relevant, but
sometimes it is. But sometimes you're just like, Charlie Chaplin is talking about fucking Nazi Germany in here, you idiots. Like, I get it that Trump's president and shit's going down the tubes, but it's not. We're not in the middle of a fucking genocide right now. Like, fucking relax. You know what I mean?
Well, we still got 60 days. So.
60 days, yeah. Hey, you seen that? You posted it earlier in chat about how there's some loophole that Bernie could.
Oh no! You got to actually read that article. That's all about the headline.
Yeah,
I can't.
I didn't read it at all. What
Well, that's why. That's the whole point of the article.
I actually did go in and read it. Yeah, and then at the bottom, the last sentence says it's not real.
It's not real. It's like people just link articles.
Are you serious?
They just see the headline.
Yeah,
and they don't actually read them.
Hilarious. I have seen so many of my liberal friends repost that.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw it and I was like, there's no way that's possible. And I started reading. I was like, well, okay, I was right.
Holy shit, that is funny.
I was like, man, they're really after Trump this time.
How many that has had to have been shared millions of times by now.
Yeah, things share so fast.
See, look
at the swastika got shared so fast.
Yeah. That went fucking viral. God damn it. I wanted to be the first person with a viral video from this area. The swastika got there before me.
I did it. That's why we're on the show, yeah.
Thanks, Nate.
Just kidding. Don't shoot me.
But I was back to the mustaching. It's funny because like we'll go out to the bar sometimes and it's inevitable. People just come up and start complimenting you on the mustache. And
that definitely happens.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like you talked about pulling it off. I can't pull off a fucking mustache. I've tried. It never comes in.
I've tried to pull this one off. So have some people. It's stuck.
Yeah, you're like the one. You're like the one in a million that can pull off one of those stashes and not have it look like, like a creepy '70s
white
porn
van.
star. Yeah,
Peter North.
Hey, I'm trying.
Peter North. That is funny though.
Actually, I don't even know if Peter North had a stash. I don't know.
Peter North is the porn star, right?
Yep.
He's like the main one.
He's the better looking Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, he's the main porn star.
I guess like when it comes to like male porn stars, you have three like well-known ones, which is I guess Peter North, Ron Jeremy, and then Mandingo is like the third one.
Wow, Mandingo made it on that list.
Like those are the only like. I don't know. It's just funny how porn stars.
Also, Ron Jeremy is like really old now. I think he's still doing it though, isn't he? He's still going strong.
I don't know why he wouldn't be. That's his bread and butter.
See it. Yeah, I saw like some kind of shared post on him on Facebook about a week ago. I don't know what it was. I didn't even click on it.
It was probably Ron Jeremy for president.
Yeah, it probably was.
Ron Jeremy for president. I mean, fuck.
He had that big smile on his face.
If Trump can do it, I don't see why.
The old hedgehog.
Yeah, that's just the thing now. Now that Trump became president, I think in 2020 it's just going to be interesting seeing. Kanye West is the big one, right? Kanye West in 2020. I've been seeing a meme like Bernie Sanders hindsight is 2020. Like, okay, we get it, clever play on words, but Bernie Sanders is going to be a fucking like he was already pretty old for this. I'm a Bernie fan. You know what I mean? I'll go out and say that, but the guy's fucking old. I mean, and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both in their 70s too. So
yeah, well, Trump is going to be the oldest president, right?
Is he really?
Yeah, I think so.
How old is he right now?
70, I think.
Yeah, I think he's 70.
Yep. So if he gets,
which is old. I mean,
yeah,
he's getting up there.
I mean, 70 is like the new 50. I would say like 70 now is probably like what 50 would be in like the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
50,
he's definitely
70, 50.
Definitely gonna need a bottle of Geritol.
Yeah.
In the White House.
But I don't know. Bernie is one of those people that just like how like presidents age like 80,000 years once they get in office.
Yeah, look at Obama.
Hair's gray.
Yeah, like Obama in 2008, like
Michael Jordan,
Obama in 2016, the Crypt Keeper, pretty much.
Morgan Freeman.
But I don't know. Like it's gonna be interesting because I don't know. I wonder how like once Trump learns about the aliens and how there's an asteroid headed to Earth that's going to kill everybody in 5 years, like how that's going to make him age, you know what I mean?
It'll be all over him. InfoWars and...
Well, we know his hair will stay the same.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I just noticed of Trump? He has the back part has the little back curl to it. You know what I'm talking about? I've never noticed that before. And then the front part comes... Like it starts like
I'm pretty sure the front part is the back part.
Yeah, it just
kind of sweeps over.
A business in the front. Party in the back.
Business in the front, still business in the back. Fucking Trump. I wish I knew what happens on the first day. Like I know that, like on the first day of the presidency, you get like the briefings and all that. But I wish I knew if there's this part where they like pull you into a secret room and it's like, okay, let me tell you the shit that's really happening. Okay, Area 51 used to be an alien base. Not anymore. Everybody knows about it. But Area 52, aliens, we totally have aliens working for us.
Yeah, aliens are running that one.
Yeah.
It's now just the Sandlot.
Yeah. JFK, definitely an inside job. Watch your back. Watch your back on that one. We have no control of the CIA. We have no idea what they're doing. We haven't for fucking 30 years. Just... That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, what's the legit shit that happens on the... Like, what do you think the odds are that... let's go into a little alien talk. What do you think the odds are that aliens are real? Are legit, that have been to Earth?
Have been to Earth.
Have been to Earth.
I can't even put a percentage on that. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Like, there's maybe. I don't know.
Maybe? Like 5%?
Yeah, I'll give it a 5%. I'll go strong at 5%.
What about you, Nate?
On Earth?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I think any living organism could be an alien that's not in our atmosphere. So
Yeah, okay,
like
so...
even if it was a worm.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a good point. Well, just say sentient, highly advanced technology.
Yeah, I could go around 3%.
3%?
3%. All right. What about you, Ryan?
I am like 50% at
50%?
least.
Dang.
Yeah.
You got the tinfoil hat and everything.
Okay, I will say that
Go to your corner.
like I've never seen, like, it's my lifelong dream to confirm that aliens exist, like just seeing a UFO. But you know, like we all have like friends and family
Or
members.
you've already seen them and you're just misleading us.
Are you a UFO? Are you trying to downplay? Are you an unidentified flying object?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so maybe not now. How are you guys, like, where do you sway on the ancient alien theory?
Oh, I give that 1,000%.
Do you really?
10 times 100%.
Seriously?
No, that's all nonsense. The whole the whole point of the show is anything that has any doubt. There's like, it was aliens.
Okay, not the like. So the show, the first like 3 episodes were interesting, and then everything after that was.
Oh, I mean, the whole show is interesting. I'd also like to point out I had a family member on that show. I've had an expert on ancient aliens. Yes.
No fucking way.
Yes. If you watch the Star Children
George
episode,
Tsoukalos?
yeah, I wish. If you watch the Star Children episode, my cousin is an expert on Star Children and ghosts.
You're fucking
because
kidding
she
me.
writes books on them, so that makes her an expert.
Dang.
What's her last name? Can you say it? I guess it's on Star Children, so why not?
I think it was Patillo, is what she went by then.
Fuck,
Wow.
You know, I wish we had the capability on this
also.
podcast to pull up, stuff.
Yeah, so we need that.
Yeah, but hey, if anyone out there wants to intern on the Brain
Google.
Baby podcast, to
Star Children.
be someone that runs electronics in the foreground, let me know.
It's an honor and also not an honor. Like kind of
I will yell at
honor.
you.
Yeah.
I will abuse you mentally and verbally.
Well, are we talking kind of like about the ancient pyramids and stuff, how they were built?
Yeah, like I guess just the idea that ancient civilizations were
What about the Freemasons?
I like ancient civilizations like 5,000 years ago. Like,
I see what you're saying.
Like, so we'll go back to you, Nate. What do you think the odds are that ancient civilizations had contact, or that like ancient civilizations had been in contact with extraterrestrials? What do you think the odds are on that?
Give us a solid number. We need figures
I'll give you a
here.
ballpark.
1 through 100.
How about 98%? I'm thinking probably.
It's like, ooh,
I don't know. It's tough because there's a lot of stories out there. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. It's
Yeah,
kind of like the
there's a lot of
telephone
stories
game.
And no actual facts, so it's just kind of like, is it or is it not?
I mean, I don't know. Like 25%. We'll just throw it
25.
out
I'm
a solid 25.
I'm
You're
70.
still 50?
I'm
Oh, you're
75 on that
all
one.
right.
Yeah. No, I totally believe it, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of it is driven from the fact that I want to believe it. Like
Or they had like
Oh, yeah.
in touch with like spirit world. Because if there's ghosts, then there must be like a spirit world.
I don't
Maybe
believe in
I don't
ghosts.
know. Oh, okay. Well,
I'm 0% on Ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. Ghosts could exist. I mean, we haven't seen any, but they might be out there.
Wait, you think ghosts exist? Like,
No, I don't think ghosts exist. But I'm like, they could be out there.
it's like Doctor Strange and that.
I
Did you
won't
guys see
rule it
that yet?
Doctor Strange? No, I heard it's good though.
I actually watched part of it there. I didn't watch all
Where
of it.
she's standing over his dead body in the hospital, and they're like fighting in
didn't
that
see
realm
that.
outside. And I'm like, oh, that's like the spirit world. They're like it's like a
Yeah,
parallel.
'cause they,
I
yeah,
heard
they
it's
all go
trippy
into
as
like
shit.
like the parallel magic world or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's the Upside Down.
Yeah. Stranger Things.
Have you guys seen? You've seen Stranger Things, right?
Yep.
Have you,
Yeah,
Nate?
I binged that on the day it came out. That was
Yeah, same
was
here.
over pretty quick.
I took my time with it, one episode like every couple of days, because it's like I could tell the very first episode, I'm like, this is going to be something that I'm going to love forever. I
Yeah.
might as well take my time with it and not binge it and just ruin it for myself. But I don't know if it ruins it, but you know what binging does. Sometimes you got to do it, and sometimes you just want to savor it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved fucking Stranger Things. And yeah, like what were your guys' impressions of Stranger Things?
I thought it was really good. I loved it. What about you, Nate?
Yeah.
Back to you,
What
Nate.
about my beard? Oh, I don't know. No. Yeah, it took me like a week to watch it too. I didn't, but I was like super into it. I give it 5 stars.
Yep.
The writing was just cool. And then
The writing was great.
I'm not a big fan of the 80s, but that 80s vibe was cool. Like the intro and the music
Yeah.
was like
yeah, I
kinda,
really like the whole synthesizer type of thing that's
Yeah.
going on. Like
Yeah.
Deadpool did a lot with synthesizers for the score.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, did you watch Deadpool?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh my god, Deadpool is actually really good.
Yeah, it's one of those like when like new movies. It takes me a while to trickle to me because I don't download them anymore. Just because I don't know why I don't. But usually I have to wait till they're on Netflix, or it's rare that I'll even go to like a movie theater anymore. But yeah, so I haven't seen Deadpool. I haven't seen a lot of the new movies. Actually, the last movie I saw in theaters was Suicide Squad, which I didn't like.
Yeah, Suicide Squad was largely hype.
Dude, they had the makings for an amazing movie. And I think that the money, there was so much money tied up in it and too many people were like overseeing how the writing was going, overseeing how the final edit was going, and they had too many things that they needed to do in it.
I think that's why Deadpool actually succeeded, because they had such a little budget and they had to make so many cuts. So
Yeah.
like they had to make it work with relatively nothing.
Well, it seems like movies with a lower budget have a lot more heart, I guess. Like you guys have seen District 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like where the alien
Yeah,
comes to St.
yeah.
Petersburg, or is it St. Petersburg, or what's the?
How about that?
It's in South
I
Africa.
don't even remember where it takes
St.
place.
Petersburg is in Russia, I think, but it's some city in South Africa, and I'll just say it for the listeners that don't know. But ship lands there. It's a giant alien ship. It lands, and it was there for months before humans decided to okay, what's going on? We just got to tap in, cut a hole in this thing and figure out what's going on. And it ended up being an alien race that was on the brink of extinction. All these aliens were starving, or not extinction, but all these aliens were starving inside. But that movie had a super low budget, and it was totally an independent film, pretty much. And I thought that movie came out incredibly. You know what I mean? It's great writing.
Yeah. District 9 is really good.
Fucking awesome movie, yeah. But
Yeah, you should definitely check out Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah. What's that? That's about that's about a superhero who what's the whole idea behind Deadpool?
Oh god, Deadpool is he's an anti-hero. So he pretty much just does whatever the hell he wants. And it's sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. He's basically a mercenary.
Savage.
Yeah.
And he is very, very rude, and it's very lewd.
Yeah.
But they did it really well. And seeing Ryan Reynolds, who has done all these romantic comedies, seeing him
Rom-coms.
as Deadpool totally redeemed his career.
Yeah.
He killed
Amazing. He
Yeah.
killed it. Yeah.
He redeemed himself for Green Lantern or whatever.
Oh yeah. No,
geez.
they even make fun of Green Lantern in Deadpool.
Do they?
Yeah.
He's like,
That's cool.
He's like, don't make me wear a green suit.
He's like, don't make the suit. Yeah, don't make it animated
yeah,
either.
there you
Right?
go.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've always liked Ryan Reynolds as an actor, even in you can tell when actors do a stupid movie like that, because there's it's 10 million or 15, 20 million
he's
bucks in
making
their
money,
pocket.
yeah.
And I guess some actors you can forgive, some it's come on. When Seth Rogen did the What's the superhero one that Seth Rogen did?
Green Hornet, is that what
Green
it's called?
Hornet, yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was rough, dude. And like Seth Rogen, like clearly a money grab.
For some reason, I like that movie too.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's a Chinese guy in it. I don't know.
But yeah, I've always liked Ryan Reynolds. Ever since the first movie I saw him in was Van Wilder. That's a classic. Like,
oh, I thought you were gonna say Just Friends.
No, I do like Just Friends though. That's a funny one.
The Proposal, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one.
It's awful, but I still watch it all the time.
But I remember watching him in Van Wilder. That movie is perfect for when you're like hungover on Sunday and you just want to like lay in the couch and watch something. Van Wilder is always a go-to for that. But did you guys know that Van Wilder is actually based on a real person? One of my favorite comedians, Bert Kreischer.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so Bert Kreischer is one of my favorite stand-up comedians. Actually,
don't worry, people. We just have an elk hanging from the ceiling.
Just a baby head.
this baby head is actually signed by him, believe it or
Oh,
not.
nice.
Yeah.
No way.
I wonder why that was up there. Now I know.
Yeah, no, it's signed by Bert Kreischer. It's called The Machine because that's like he has this one story about hanging out with the Russian mafia that's totally true. Like, I mean, if you know Bert Kreischer, if you've listened to him enough, you know that he doesn't like lie about shit. He's a really, really cool guy. But he has this one story that, like, no matter how, like, this happened like 15 years ago, no matter where, he just has to tell the story. Like, people go to the show to see this story that he calls The Machine. But, yeah, I'm a big Bert Kreischer fan, and he was actually at the University of Florida, and he was there for, like, a long time, like Van Wilder was. And Rolling Stone did a story on him. And that's how the movie Van Wilder was made. Is the writers for Van Wilder saw this story, wrote the movie Van Wilder based off that story in Rolling Stone about Bert Kreischer before Bert Kreischer was even famous or a comedian or anything. He was just this legendary guy at the University of Florida.
Nice. I did not know that.
Yeah.
No way.
He's a fucking awesome guy. I like when 3 podcasts that I listen to a lot are all the Death Squad podcasts. I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and then I listen to Legion of Skanks. And he's like goes, and he has his own podcast called Bertcast. And surprisingly, I haven't listened to it yet. It's just one of those ones I've been meaning to get to. But whenever he's on it's always my favorite episode whenever he's on one of those because he's just a very, very, very fun guy. But yeah, I don't know. We've been talking about shows. Do you guys have you guys seen any of the do you know anything about Stranger Things 2?
No, I haven't even really looked into it.
Yeah, I know their second season. I think they're bringing back like a lot of the characters that were in season 1. I think they're I just seen the other day that they're bringing back 11 somehow. But I hope it lives up to Stranger Things 1.
Yeah, they've got a lot to live up to, so hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I watched like a little. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no,
I watched there was like a little YouTube video. It was like a minute long, I think. A little promo. It might have been on Facebook too. And it had,
really?
I think the titles from the second season, like Pumpkin Patch was one of the titles.
Oh, I seen that.
Just kind of zooming, but that's the only thing I've seen of it. But I hope they're bringing back 11 and all the original characters.
Yeah,
because I've heard from other people that they might do like where they like get new characters every season or something.
Oh, no, not another True Detective.
Yeah, I hope not. But
That worked well.
I haven't seen True Detective yet, but it's an.
You haven't seen the first season?
No.
Oh my god.
I know. Well, you know what's funny is we were talking. We've been Tim, our other co-host, one of our other co-hosts. Tim is not here. Tim's been getting into.
Let's talk about Tim and sci-fi. While he's not here.
Let's do this. Let's transition into the segment where we all talk about something that Tim really loves when he's not here. But he's been getting into Stargate.
Stargate. Now he's really liking the Battlestar.
Wait, he watched the first season of Stargate.
Yeah, I think he said he watched the first season or like half a season of Stargate, and it.
Why would you not finish the first season before moving on to Battlestar?
I have a feeling he's just watching the first season of everything and just going to get really confused about what's happening in everything.
Dude, Nate, have you ever seen Battlestar Galactica?
I've heard a lot about it, but I've never actually seen it.
Are you a big sci-fi guy at all, or what's your genre?
Yeah, I like. I'm a big comedy guy. I used to be horror when I was a kid, but I'm scared to death of horrors now. I'm a girl, afraid of clowns. But but no, I do like. Yeah, I'm big comedy. I think a lot of Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah, just easy.
Not really funny, but how they say it is funny, kind of, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just dumb.
I'm a huge sci-fi fan. It's always been my genre. I watched Battlestar Galactica was one of those things that when it first came out, I'm like, it's because it's on Sci-Fi, and Sci-Fi shows.
That's pretty much what redeemed the Sci-Fi network was that show, that series. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I watched on Sci-Fi before that was Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Hell yeah.
Which I love. I love that show. But yeah, I didn't watch it because I'm like, it's a sci-fi show. It's going to be low budget, poor writing, bad acting. There's a time and a place for that, and Sci-Fi never nails it. But Battlestar Galactica was fucking amazing the first time I seen it, dude.
So good.
I remember
Look this up.
Yeah, I like the first time I watched it. I was deployed, and when you're deployed, you for half the day you really just have nothing to do except stay out of the fucking heat, pretty much. And I had torrented all of Battlestar Galactica, and the first episode. I'm just like,
You mean
awesome.
legally purchased?
I mean,
Allegedly.
allegedly. But yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god, like how if I never that was one of the first things that I binged really. Like ever.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Like when was the last time you seen it? Have you watched it recently? Or?
No, I haven't seen it in years now. I
Same
should go
here.
back and rewatch it because it's really good. It's worth it.
Yeah. It's one of those things that like it's been enough time for me that I can binge it and still and like not get I was talking with someone about this recently with a show. Have you guys seen Lost?
Yeah, I've seen some Lost.
What's
Yeah.
that? No, I know.
Yeah, everybody knows Lost. Like I watched the original show Lost like religiously.
Or
and
basically, what happens when the writers go on strike?
yeah, don't
It's like
even-
waiting for a Tool album.
yeah, pretty much like. But let's see, Lost ended probably like 2010, I want to say.
Yeah, I don't even know when it happened.
Yeah.
I can't even ballpark.
I was still living in Delaware then, so that so it would have been 2009. Yeah, 2009 it probably ended.
Okay.
But so that's been what 2009, 8 years. 8 years, and it still hasn't been long enough for me to go back and rewatch Lost.
Because you know how it ends at the end. You're just like, oh, damn it! I know where this is going.
Well, I know how it's season 4. It just like takes a giant shit on itself, pretty much.
Yeah.
It like puts its legs up against a wall, so it's upside down and just shits all over itself. Yeah, I was so disappointed in the ending of Lost. But Battlestar, that's one that now that we were talking about it on the chat today, I'm thinking about rewatching it.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
But I haven't watched what's the one that Tim started off on?
Stargate?
Stargate, yeah. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, I love Stargate.
What's the premise behind that?
There's a race of ancient tummy snakes, is what I'm going to refer to them as. I don't remember what they were called.
That's awesome.
So they inhabit your tummy and they control you, but they're like ancient gods or whatever, so they have extreme power.
I
And
gotcha.
so like they basically roam the galaxy just like destroying people and enslaving people.
Ancient tummy
And then
snakes.
they find and then the humans find this gate. I forget where they find it. Underground somewhere, I think. And then they find that it there's all these symbols on it, and that the symbols are actually coordinates. And so they can go to other gates, which are other worlds on other planets. So
I gotcha.
that's pretty much the premise.
First off, I want to say
And then
that
they get into shenanigans.
this episode will definitely be called Ancient Tummy Snakes. That's what I'm naming this episode for sure.
Got a grub in my belly.
It's pretty much about tummy snakes. That's what it boils down to.
That's awesome. How many seasons of SG1 are there?
Oh, it's got to be at least 10. Probably about 9 or 10. It went
No
for
shit.
a while, yeah. They even at the end, they even got MacGyver left the show, and they brought in the people from Farscape, Ben Browder and Claudia Black. So Farscape just kind of continues as SG1, but not.
I never watched Farscape.
Oh, Farscape's really good too for a cheesy sci-fi.
What is it about?
Oh god, it's a human goes through Ben Browder ends up going through a black hole or something, and then gets to in a different part of space where there's no humans. So he's one of the only humans, and there's all these other races, and
Oh, that sounds
they end
kinda
up
nice.
I
getting
saw
on
something
a
about
prison
that,
ship
I
or
think.
something. Yeah, it's actually
yeah.
really good.
Looks
It's
interesting.
really cheesy, but it's really good.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Would Stranger Things be categorized as somewhat sci-fi or no?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess there's like a certain sci-fi about me, but I like it. I just need to give it a chance. But.
Yeah,
it's not just space. It's not just space.
Yeah, anything like there's like when it comes to that sort of stuff, there's like sci-fi, and then there's fantasy, and then there's stuff that sort of bridges both. The like Game of Thrones, for instance, would have been pure fantasy until they fucking did that stupid thing about where Hodor time travels, and that's how he. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Dude, how have you not watched all of Game of Thrones? Jesus,
all the good shows. I'm just like, yes, you watched that, right? I'm like, well,
but you've watched Family Guy. Jesus,
I know, and they make all the references to all these shows.
Yeah, you're not even getting half the reference.
Well, yeah, that's really funny, Seth.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Shit, there's fucking spit all over this.
Oh no!
Nice.
Oh no!
I'll just like let someone else use this one next time, so everyone gets a
Tim.
little bit of.
That one's for Tim.
But Game of Thrones did this thing in the last season where there's a character named Hodor, and this is not in the books because Game of Thrones has gone beyond where the books have stopped. The books are still going, but the writer just is waiting to.
Yeah, George R.R. needs to speed it up a little.
Oh, dude, people are killing themselves waiting for that last book.
He's just to be an ass. He's just like gonna like make them completely different than the show.
Well, you know what he keeps doing is releasing passages from the book.
Oh, does he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and it's just like gives people a little bit of like, just like fodder to like fantasize about or gossip about or like make up like this is what this word means. You know what I mean? But in the Game of Thrones series, it was pure fantasy, and then in the last season, they did something where one of the characters has like a magical something with magic happens with him, and he time travels and like sees himself holding a door for someone, and then because he time traveled, it fucked his head up. So the only thing he can say for the majority of his life is Hodor, and we find out. That's because he was holding a door, hence the name Hold a Door. It
was a little rough there, but
and like people love that. Like, oh, it all makes sense now. I'm like, that's the stupidest explanation for why. Because in the book they just explain that his name is like something that kind of sounds like Hodor, I think, and then he has like what's that?
Gandalf. Some weird.
They just cross reference the universes, but that okay. So back to the point is that because they time traveled, now that is science. That's sci-fi.
Does that make it sci-fi? I'm not even sure.
It does, yeah. So like a lot of people are like, oh, now.
But what if it's magic?
I mean, that's the excuse is like, oh, it could still be magic. I'm like, yeah, but it is sci-fi. You realize that? Like now, instead of being a pure fantasy show, it crosses universes with sci-fi.
You cross streams, guys.
You can't cross the streams unless there's a giant marshmallow man walking right at you.
Everyone knows that.
Everybody knows that shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a huge. I've always been a huge sci-fi fan. One of my favorite authors growing up is Michael Crichton, was Michael Crichton. I've read Jurassic Park and The Lost World. Honestly, I've read those books.
It's great stuff.
5-6 times in my lifetime. I mean,
it's like the Great Train Robbery and stuff like that.
I've never read The Great Train Robbery. Have you?
I did a long time ago. Don't ask me to tell you anything about it. I think a train got robbed.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ones that isn't sci-fi. But yeah, like he had a book that I read recently was Congo.
Sphere.
Yeah. He had like Sphere, Congo, The Great Train Robbery. One about the Vikings, which I read, but I can't remember any of it, and I can't even remember the name. Obviously, Jurassic Park, The Lost World. One of his very last book, which was actually released after his death, was about pirates, and it was a really good book. I like that one. It wasn't sci-fi at all. It was just about like the story about
Johnny Depp,
Caribbean pirates, pretty much. Yeah,
it was all right. Nice.
It was Pirates of the Caribbean. He wrote Pirates of the Caribbean. No, but yeah, like one book that I read by him, the last one was Congo, which I read that back in the 90s, and it was like, oh, this is like cool. You read it now, and the technology is so because it was written in the early 80s. So they're talking about like the oldest technology you could think of, and it's kind of hard to get through. To be honest,
doesn't hold up today.
Well, yeah, because it was written in a time like the thing about like when he wrote Jurassic Park, that was when the Human Genome Project was first being thought of, like where governments were coming together to figure out the human genome and all this shit in gene splicing, in just everything genetics was becoming possible, and this was like in the late 80s. And so when he wrote that book, it was like everything that he was describing was cutting edge technology, you know, and he's talking about like mainframe computers that are like 8 gigabytes or 8 megabytes.
Hack the Gibson.
He's like, you're gonna have flat screens in 15 years.
Like he's just talking about technology that is like, come on, like my phone is like 1 billion times stronger than what you're. It's funny how
Michael
that stuff
Crichton
goes
just
up.
didn't have any future sight.
No,
Damn it.
but yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge sci-fi fan, I guess, but
Yeah, like when it comes to books, I kind of like the sci-fi, like because I don't know, sometimes because it kind of goes into that mystery. So I'm kind of I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of like
I love
books
doing
like that, kind of like stuff that you don't fully believe, but you kind of do at the same time. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, what's out there?
Okay,
So I always read a lot. I read a lot of stuff like that.
so we started with aliens. Conspiracy theory wise, what's like the craziest conspiracy theory that you're on board with? Like, let's say like JFK, for instance. JFK
Sure.
was an inside job. I'm on board for that one.
I'm definitely on
Yeah.
board for that
Yeah, I
one.
can be on board for that one.
Yeah, but like, what's a big conspiracy theory that you're?
I think where Area 51's at, I kind of think it might be like a human testing ground.
You think so?
I think it might be.
No shit.
I don't know. I think
I haven't heard
because
that one.
the pharmaceutical company's got to have an area where they test their drugs. I don't know if it's on animals. I mean, it just might be on animals. Who knows? But
You know, I never thought about that as far as like, there's probably some crazy fucking drugs out there that would never go through like FDA
Sure.
processing, but they're trying them, like an Island of Dr. Moreau situation.
yeah, kind of like that. Everybody's like running around like they're on
I'm on
PCP.
board with that.
you
I'm
know?
on board with that one.
Wait, have you guys seen Island of Dr. Moreau?
Yeah.
So, who's the main character? Oh, fuck, brain fart. The guy that played
Dr. Moreau.
The guy that played
Daryl from Walking Dead. Oh, just kidding. I'm just messing.
He was in the main guy from the Godfather. Shit.
Oh, Al Pacino. No, I'm just
No.
kidding. Making stuff up.
Daryl Strawberry.
Yes, Daryl Strawberry. No, I guess it's funny because like now that who is the guy? God damn it! This is bugging me. We did this the last time with Jessica Alba.
Was it Kilmer?
Well, yeah, Val Kilmer was in it, but the other guy, Marlon Brando, Marlon fucking Brando.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So that was like, I think that was one of Marlon Brando's last movies, and Marlon Brando is a fucking awesome actor. You know, between of course the Godfather 1, and then he was in all the other movies that he's known for. But Island of Dr. Moreau was like we got Marlon Brando on board for this one, but that was when he was sort of getting to the end of his acting years. You know what I mean? And I guess like you hear stories about how he actually had like an earpiece to get his lines told to him as he was saying it.
Nice.
And like the earpiece was interacting with like local police
What?
signals. So he'd be like they have outtakes of him like talking, like saying the lines, and he's like, "Oh, we got a robbery on like 4th and 7," like because he's in his mind he's just repeating what's being told to him.
That's
That's
amazing.
cool.
So I guess somewhere out there there's these
He
outtakes.
reads anything that's on the teleprompter.
Oh, we got a robbery on 4th and 7. Marlon, what do you? That's not the line, Marlon. You know what I mean? Yeah.
God.
Anyway, it is getting to be about that time where we usually wrap up the episode.
The witching hour.
Nate, do you want
to
to
rap?
wrap it?
What? I'm not rapping it.
Nate, do you have anything you want to plug for any upcoming gigs for your band at all?
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. not to use shameless self-promotion,
Promote away, my friend. That's what this time is for.
but the Brown Thrashers is in Shango this Saturday at Just One More, where you can have just one more.
Yeah, I've been to that bar. It's nice inside.
It's not bad inside. Yeah, they built
Yeah.
that little smoke room out front too.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
It's all renovated now. But yeah.
Cool. And then look out for your EP.
Yeah, look out for
Jack Diesel.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I want to ask you something. For the intro music for this podcast, you care if we use that promo song from Jack Diesel? That
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
using
Appreciate
it
it
for
man.
this episode. Other than that, for me personally, upcoming comedy gigs. On December 3rd, I will be at the German House in Rochester. Tickets are $15 a piece for it. It's a comedy competition. I'm going to be there doing my best, trying to move on to round 2 because round 3 is at the Dominican Republic Comedy Festival or something like that. I doubt I'll make it to round 3 to get that, but I want to get past round 1, and I need people from Rochester or anywhere in the area to come out there and laugh at all my stupid jokes.
One
Even
question,
if they're
Ryan.
not funny.
Even if they're not funny.
Is Sammy Sosa going to be there?
Sammy Sosa will be there. We also got Mark McGuire, so going to be a little
Steroid
tension
fest.
in the room. Yeah,
Maybe a home run competition.
yeah. It's going to be a night to remember. But yeah, I'll be at the German House December 3rd. Also happens to be my birthday. So make sure you come out
Your
to that.
birthday is on the German House?
It's on the German House, yes.
Wow.
And fuck you, asshole! You fucked me up. So if you want to get tickets for that, get a hold of me on Facebook. Just message the Brain Gravy Facebook page. Also, if you haven't yet, please like the Brain Gravy Facebook page. Like it. Share it with your friends if you want.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it all up.
Yeah, just get it out there.
Take it out to dinner.
Would you shut the fuck? And subscribe to us on iTunes. Subscribe to us on SoundCloud. We're streaming our episodes live on UStream. So keep an eye out for our live stream. And other than that, we will see you next episode. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Thank you.